I'm going to take a few minutes to compare some Rosewood necks. On the left is my 72 Fender Mustang. On the right is a recently acquired Squier E-Series Strat neck. I believe that's 87. What I love about these old guitars is the beautiful rosewood. I love how dark and deep and straight grain and tight grain the rosewood is. Really hard to find nice rosewood like that anymore on newer guitars. The Squier's an E-Series. As you can see, the E in the serial number designating it E-Series. My Fender Mustang, I got this in around 1978-79 when I was about 15. And I managed to hold on to it through the years, amazingly enough. I don't know how long that'll last, but she's still kicking. Here's the body for the 87 E-Series neck. This is what it's going to look like done. Oh yeah. Can't wait till that baby's done. And over here we have another Japan Squier. I believe this one to be 84. Now this is an A-Series. If you go in close, you can see there's no serial number. And that's because they put the serial number on the back on the neck plate. I think they were just trying to use up some of the leftover neck plates. It was right when CBS sold Fender. As you can see, I live near an Air Force base, so that happens pretty often. There's the Squier headstock. Once again, this rosewood, the rosewood on this one isn't quite as dark, but it's still looking really nice. One of the things that amazes me is you got this early 70s Fender, and you put a Japan Fender that was made 15 years later next to it, and the rosewood looks almost just as good. Another great thing about these old rosewood boards, you can't really see it in certain lights. In certain lighting, it almost looks purple. It's got this like slight purple look to it. The grain's kind of open on this just because it's so old and it got a lot of use. If you're wondering about the frets, I refretted that Mustang when I was about 20 years old in the early 80s, early to mid 80s. And I also put the shalers on. So there's really no difference between the E-Series Squiers and the E-Series Japan Fenders and the A-Series Squiers. There's very little difference. They're really high quality and they just sound great and feel great. And you're not going to get a better Strat for the money. The only difference I've seen on them mostly is on most of the A series ones, they have the cheaper tuners, you know. So on the E series ones, they came factory with Gotos or Grovers. You'll see Grovers on them. I even seen Shailers on them once in a blue moon. So there it is. Some sweet Fender Rosewood from the early 70s and mid 80s. You also see how when they got to start making the Japan ones, they went to plain white fret markers where they used real abalone in the early 70s Fender. It's about the only difference. They're really nice guitars, man. Can't beat them.